Hello folks, I hope you're all doing well. It is a beautiful day here and I'm going to squint as I turn around and look at the sun here at the allotment, and we've got a special job to do today. Now, I've not been up for about probably 2 weeks now just because of the weather. It has not stopped raining here for the last 2 weeks. There has been storm this, storm that and storm the other, but today on Sunday we have a lovely beautiful day and I've got a special job. Look, I've got a packet here of some green manure, so we're going to have a bit of a test. Now, I did a video ages ago, and I mean years ago, of green manure, and it wasn't very successful, and it's a funny old video because it was right when at the start when I was doing some of this YouTube stuff. So I'll put a little link at the end. Go and have a look at it. If you want a good laugh at some of my earlier stuff, go and have a wee look. It's not quite as good as the ones are these days, but anyway, bit of an experiment. So I've got a couple of beds that I want to try out on, and I mentioned this in a video just a few weeks ago. And whether you can just do this in a normal regular bed that you sort of dig over, or whether you can do it in no dig. And the good people of YouTube have come to my rescue and told me that you can do it in both no dig and regular sort of dug beds. So let's just have a quick look. I'm just going to pop these down, right? Let's have a look. Let me spin you around here. So I've got this one bed here. It's only a wee one, so it's only sort of just round here. And this is the one that we had the pumpkins in. I'll probably do this bed that's right next to it as well, but that's still got main crop potatoes in it that I desperately need to dig up today. So we'll get those dug up, and let's just have a little walk back along here into the rabbit territory. So for those of you who've been following along for the last wee while, you know that I've got a little bit of a rabbit problem around here, and I can't decide if I've accidentally trapped a rabbit inside the allotment or not. I'm not quite sure about that yet, but let's have a look. I'm going to do these two no dig beds here as well, but you can see something has been digging in it, and I'm sure it's a rabbit all over here because I hoed this all over a couple of weeks ago. It was all nice and flat and level. Same for this one. This one needs a little bit of tidying up. It's got some old dead courgette plants in there that need to come out, but these two are no dig, so I think we're going to put some green manure in there. I'm a little bit worried that once it goes in, the seeds go in, if I don't solve the rabbit problem, they're going to cause chaos with the green manure. But hey, that's not the end of the world, is it? But anyway, let me get set up. I'll tell you a little bit about the green manure mix I've got, how I'm going to prep the beds, how we're going to do it. So I'll be back with you in just a jiffy. So to start off with, this is the green manure I'm going to be using. Let me show you it nice and closely there. There you go. I got it from a place called Sow Seeds. I went to the website, never used them before. They don't pay me, nothing like that. I just went there, bought some, going to give it a shot. Now, it's got into something called winter tares and ryegrass, so it's a mix of two different seeds in there, and hopefully they're going to do just the job. And it looks dead simple. And I saw, was it George on Beach Grove Garden? I'm sure I saw George doing it on Beach Grove Garden. Again, that just kind of inspired me a little bit to go and get some and give it another shot, unlike the last time that I did it. And it looks relatively easy to do it. Clear the bed, get rid of the weeds, give it a bit of a doing over, get the seeds on, rake them in, job done. So let's just see if it's going to be that simple. But the first thing I've got to do, and I appreciate I haven't got the camera at the best of angles for this, but I'll do it off camera, you don't need me to see it. But the bed here, I showed you just before, it's got a few weeds in it, it's a bit messy, it's a bit, the soiling is actually pretty good, the tilth on it isn't too fine, so it's not going to take much to get it worked over and get it in a good nick. But I'll do that off camera and I'll come back to you in just a jiffy and we'll get the interesting bit done. So that's this bed, pretty much clear. I've got rid of most of the weeds, and one thing I've just remembered, and I thought I'd show you this on the camera anyway, is that I forgot we had a volunteer potato growing here. So I thought, why not dig it up and see if we've got any decent potatoes, or if there's nothing. And, you know, just because I'm filming it, there's nothing. Well, yeah, let me just pull this out. It's going that way, so I'm just gonna dig here, and yeah, we've got no potatoes. So much for the volunteer potatoes. But just to show you, not everything on YouTube goes according to plan. But right, back to digging this over. Back with you in a jiffy. So just a little quick recap on where we are. The bed's been dug over, forked it, hoed it, and then it's been given over sort of level up with the rake, so it's all nice and level there for the seeds going on and ready for the main event. I've no idea what these are going to look like, but I will pop over towards the camera and I'll grab a handful and and show you. Let me just pop over here. There you go. So that, hopefully you can see that. That's what the seed looks like. And we can see the two different types of seeds, and the instructions say to put 60 grams of seeds per 2 square metres. Now, with the best will in the world, I am bringing no scales up here and weighing out 60 grams of seed per 200 per square metre. So what it is getting is a handful or 2 handfuls for this size of bed, sprinkled over so I can see pretty good coverage over the whole bed. So for me, for this, I reckon I've done about 2.5 handfuls of that. Is that 60 grams? Who knows? I'm not sure. And what I'm going to do after that, get the rake it over, and hopefully that's just going to push it under the surface of the soil there, because we do have quite a lot of birds over here. I think I said before, I don't know if you can see them or not, but we've got trees all over there, and there's quite a lot of hungry pigeons live in those trees. And there's a stone. We'll just remove the stone while we're doing that. And there's another stone. Look at that. So we'll get rid of them. And again, it's just a case of raking it till I can't really see the seed anymore, just so it's gone under that first sort of inch or 2 of soil. And then it says you've got to tamper it down. I don't really want to walk on the bed, so I'm just going to improvise and use the rake here just to go all the way along. And the reason for tampering it down is just to encourage that contact between the seeds and the soil, so we get germination. So we're almost done. A couple of little bits that I've missed, just going to try and make sure I get all of it around the bed there. And that really couldn't be much simpler, I don't think. One thing I think I'm going to do, so that seed I've got there, the winter mix, it does say on the pack, sow in September, October, and we're just at the start of November. Obviously, the last couple of weeks we've had that horrendous rain, which is why I'm a little bit late in doing it. So what I'm probably going to do is, in the shed, I've got some agricultural fleece. I'll just pop that over the top. It's going to encourage germination. It'll make it a little bit warmer, encourage germination, and I'll stop the pesky birds from coming over here and eating the seeds, and hopefully any rabbits that are knocking about from interfering with it. Right, that's the dug bed done. I'll go over there and we'll get one of the no-dig beds one, because that's going to be just a little bit different, I think, to how we've done this one, because obviously there'll be no digging. So back with you in just a jiffy. Now we're over here at the no-dig bed, and it's going to be remarkably similar to the last one we did. And again, in terms of measuring, I'm just doing the same, but I've taken out all the little weeds from the no-dig bed. And there is a difference, actually. There's one key difference for the green manure here in the no-dig bed compared to the dig ones over there. So all the little weeds are out. The soil, I mean, there's a massive difference between the soil and the dug over beds and the no-dig beds. This is so light and fluffy and airy and lovely, and the little weeds that are in it come out so much easier. Honestly, they just pull out like nobody's business. It's brilliant. But the main difference comes between the two when you come to chop it down at the end. So when it grows, hopefully it grows with a bit of luck. With the no-dig bed, from what I understand, I'm just going to chop it all down and leave it lying on the top, because obviously I don't want to dig anything in, because we don't dig the soil in these beds. Whereas over there in the dug bed, chop down the top, get the fork out again, get all the roots up, turn it all over, dig all that stuff in from the top into the soil and let it rot down in the soil. So I guess the one here in the no-dig bed is almost going to act like a bit of a mulch almost in the way it acts, and sort of rot down on the top of the bed, and heavy reliance on the worms and things to come along and drag that sort of decaying foliage down into the soil and get that nutrition back in it. Because after all, that's what the green manure is all about, is getting that nutrition back into the soil, ready for next season to get more things grown in these beds. And again, you see, same technique. We've scattered the seed on there, raked it in, and then tampering it down with a rake again, so as I'm not going to walk on the beds. I mean, you know, Charles Dowden, the old sort of king of the no dig there, I see his videos, and he readily walks over his no dig beds, and I know he can do it, and I know he knows what he's doing, but it just makes me so uncomfortable, you know, when you see him doing it. It just gives me the heebie-jeebies when he does it. I would never walk over one of these beds because I'd dread to think of the damage that I would cause to one of these things. So anyway, that's this bed done. Let me get a few things sorted out and tidied up, and we'll come back to you in just a jiffy. So just before we finish up here, two very quick last things. One is, please, if you haven't seen it, go and have a look at Tony C. Smith's latest video. It's absolutely wonderful. Those of you who watch sort of Allotment YouTube sort of things will be aware of Tony and his sort of health problems. It's hard, but honestly, he's fighting back. And his latest video, where there's some folk going to help, and I'll not give it away, I'll put a link right at the end so you can see it. Go and click on it. Please go and watch it. It's absolutely wonderful. It's heartwarming. It's good for the soul to go and see that. And the other thing is, this is the fleece I was talking about, agricultural fleece that I'm going to put on top of the beds. You can see there, let me show you the material there. There's nothing much to it. It's a bit of a fancy name for some really thin sort of material. You can see while it's been in the shed, the mice have been enjoying it, and they've maybe made a nice bed out of it somewhere, so they've had a nibble. But I'll cut this to size. Some of it will go on top of this bed way down, some of it will go on top of that bed ways down, and once we've got decent germination, it'll come off and go back in the shed again till next year. Anyway, that's me done for today. If you like this video, if you'd like to see what's going on, please think about liking and subscribing. It's absolutely free. Just click the button down below, give us a thumbs up, leave comments down below. Have you tried green manure? Have you had success with it or not? This is my first real time trying to get it on the go, get it going properly. We'll give it a shot and we'll see if it works out. Anyway, that's me done for today. Thank you very much for watching, folks, and hopefully we'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.